Okay, today I would like to show you this book, The Guide to Good Chess by C.J.S. Purdy. And C.J.S. Purdy was a correspondence world champion in the time that the computer were not so strong or didn't exist in terms of chess strength. Okay, he wrote many other books. I got the one I really thought they were important for me, which are books about chess games annotated by him, because that would teach you how to annotate a game. But I got this book that is just a book for beginners. True beginners. And I found something I would like to share, because maybe Purdy was right. Notice also that Fisher said that Purdy was the best teacher. Purdy was also even getting paid to analyze games. So, you lived in Australia, maybe you live in Canada, you would send your game, and I don't know, $10, I don't know how much he asked, and he would analyze it for you in a fine manner. In any case, I want to read you what he says here, so you can, you can see these books, but I want to read you this thing because it's really interesting. It's fundamental principles. He says that it's something very, very strange here that he said, but it's an exercise that I think could be interesting for everybody who wants to really improve in chess. This is something you must do at the board, and you will learn chess in a manner that you learn chess never before. Okay? So I tell you this. It says, okay, the key to success in chess is a double threat. A threat to one enemy piece alone is normally parried with the greatest of ease, and is worthless except for some ulterior motive. But a double threat is terrific. The commonest double threat, because there are 8 pawns, is the pawn fork. The fork of 2 pieces by a pawn, the pawn not being itself vulnerable. And here it shows one thing that I want to show you. It's obviously something like this, for example. Okay? The one it shows is with a bishop. Yeah. It says 2 pieces on the same rank, no? With 1 square between them. Okay? A good player never places 2 pieces so without first looking to see if a pawn could fork them. And this is still not the exercise, the one that I wanted to show you. Exercise. Place a couple of pieces in a dozen such situations and fork them with a pawn, just to get used to the look of it. For the main thing in chess is seeing, not thinking. Thinking begins where seeing ends, and seeing in chess has little to do with eyesight. It's a question of seeing essentials and ignoring unessentials. Okay? He says someone who follows carefully this chapter should beat a completely untrained player who has been playing over untrained players for years. So, you understand, he's giving you an exercise that you should do at home. Okay? He says track, and you get 2 other pieces. For example, let's say I put it here, and we put 2 pieces here, and he says do this. Okay? And you do it for how many times? At least a dozen of time. Okay? So we do it a dozen of time. For example, there is a pawn here, and there is this here, and I fork them. So this idea of doing it over the board, if you exercise like this for a while, will actually help you to develop a kind of vision that you might not have, and this is why you lose games, because you are not able to see this thing in the beginning, especially in the beginning, right? So I find this book very, very interesting. And then it gives us another exercise. So try to do it for at least a dozen of times, like he did. For example, we could discover immediately that you cannot fork two pieces on the side, right? You must be only in one of these squares where you can actually play this. And this is what you should do. An exercise for a dozen of time. It doesn't matter also if you are good. Try to do it, because I'm sure that Purdy, that was obviously a world champion, a correspondence world champion, won some games, maybe because his opponents miss something that was basic like this, and maybe they didn't do this exercise long enough, right? I could put this here and have a pawn here and immediately see this. Okay, one square empty, two square that are possible to be attacked by this pawn. And I can put this and this here, my pawn is here, and I do it a dozen of time. So you get used to the look of it. I hope this helped every beginner, and now I will do another little video for the next one, which I believe is even more important than this exercise proposed by Purdy.